Being a chosen one is a complex and transformative experience, which often brings with it the need to face unique challenges. Those with an intense personality and a deep purpose in life often radiate a strength that can intimidate and even alienate those around them. If you've noticed that some people hesitate to approach you, or you feel out of place in some social environments, it could be that this strength is related to your inner light and the clarity of your purpose. Having a striking personality means being someone who expresses their ideas and emotions in an authentic and assertive way, which is not always understood by others. For some, your presence inspires respect and admiration, while others, less accustomed to your energy, may feel uncomfortable or even withdrawn. When we talk about a strong personality, we don't mean an overbearing or arrogant attitude. Truly intense and conscious people have a clear vision of their goals and an unwavering energy to pursue what they believe is right, always balancing this strength with empathy and respect for the feelings of others. They don't just follow general opinion. They stay true to their own path and purpose, which for many is a sign of leadership and courage. However, this firm and directed stance can be misinterpreted. Those who don't understand or feel insecure in the face of such authenticity may, for lack of understanding, see the personality of the chosen ones as cold, insensitive, or even domineering. However, this is only a superficial layer that doesn't capture the true essence of the chosen one, a person who, while maintaining a solid posture, is nonetheless receptive, attentive, and compassionate to the world around them. As a chosen one, you carry a high purpose, a special mission to contribute to the development of humanity and the spiritual evolution of those around you. This does not imply superiority, but rather a deeper understanding of your own responsibilities and the awareness that your journey can inspire others to become the best version of themselves. Spiritually, to be a chosen one is to have an expanded perception and a natural ability to see beyond the apparent, which gives you a clearer view of the subtle aspects of life. This perception is not limited to the physical plane, but expands to emotions, intuitions, and even the spiritual energy of each situation, place, or person. When you enter an environment, it's as if the energy changes instantly, like a beam of light illuminates the place. The people around you, even without realizing it, are influenced by your presence and begin to adjust their own behaviors and emotions. However, this intense light and transformative presence can cause discomfort in some people. It's as if they instinctively feel that there is something different and profound about you, something that challenges them to be more authentic and self-aware. The presence of someone who carries such strength and clarity of purpose can seem like a threat to those who prefer to live in a comfort zone, where their own insecurities and fears can remain hidden. In front of a chosen one, these insecurities often come to the surface, forcing people to confront aspects of themselves that they would rather ignore. And this is precisely why their presence can intimidate and even alienate. For the chosen ones, this journey is not easy, as it requires a constant balance between being true to oneself and at the same time finding ways to connect and interact with others in a way that is not misinterpreted. It's not about changing who you are, but about adjusting the way you express yourself in order to make your presence more accessible and welcoming. Having an intense personality doesn't mean, under any circumstances, that you should give up your authenticity. It just means that by realizing the impact your energy has on others, you can choose an approach that facilitates interaction, promoting clearer and more understanding communication. In doing so, you create a bridge of understanding and mutual respect, where your strength becomes a source of inspiration rather than a reason for intimidation. One of the characteristics that often accompanies those with a strong personality is assertiveness. You can probably express what you want and need, without beating around the bush, which is a valuable skill. However, to those who aren't used to this frankness, your direct way of communicating can come across as brusque or aggressive. For some, your way of speaking and positioning yourself is seen as a threat to harmony, especially in situations where most people prefer to avoid confrontation or disagreement. In a world where many people choose to mask the truth to avoid discomfort, your frankness can come as a shock. Being assertive means being clear about your limits and willing to express them in a respectful way, but not everyone understands that this transparency is actually an act of courage and respect for yourself and others. While this ability to articulate is a blessing, as it allows you to communicate ideas and feelings accurately, it's also important to remember that the way you express these ideas can impact how others receive them. However, this intense light and transformative presence can cause discomfort in some people. It's as if they instinctively feel that there is something different and profound about you, something that challenges them to be more authentic and self-aware. The presence of someone who carries such strength and clarity of purpose can seem like a threat to those who prefer to live in a comfort zone, where their own insecurities and fears can remain hidden. In front of a chosen one, these insecurities often come to the surface, forcing people to confront aspects of themselves that they would rather ignore. And this is precisely why their presence can intimidate and even alienate. For the chosen ones, this journey is not easy, as it requires a constant balance between being true to oneself and at the same time, finding ways to connect and interact with others in a way that is not misinterpreted. It's not about changing who you are, but about adjusting the way you express yourself in order to make your presence more accessible and welcoming. Having an intense personality doesn't mean, under any circumstances, that you should give up your authenticity. It just means that by realizing the impact your energy has on others, you can choose an approach that facilitates interaction, promoting clearer and more understanding communication. In doing so, you create a bridge of understanding and mutual respect, where your strength becomes a source of inspiration rather than a reason for intimidation. One of the characteristics that often accompanies those with a strong personality is assertiveness. You can probably express what you want and need without beating around the bush, which is a valuable skill. However, to those who aren't used to this frankness, your direct way of communicating can come across as brusque or aggressive. For some, your way of speaking and positioning yourself is seen as a threat to harmony, especially in situations where most people prefer to avoid confrontation or disagreement. In a world where many people choose to mask the truth to avoid discomfort, your frankness can come as a shock. Being assertive means being clear about your limits and willing to express them in a respectful way. But not everyone understands that this transparency is actually an act of courage and respect for yourself and others. While this ability to articulate is a blessing, as it allows you to communicate ideas and feelings accurately, it's also important to remember that the way you express these ideas can impact how others receive them. In certain situations, a lighter tone of voice and a more welcoming choice of words can make all the difference to how your message is perceived. As much as you want to express yourself clearly and directly, being a little more subtle and sensitive to the context can avoid misunderstandings and make your interactions more fluid and harmonious. In addition, by showing genuine interest in other people's opinions and feelings, you demonstrate that, although you have a firm stance, you are open to dialogue and the exchange of ideas. This is especially important in situations where people may feel inhibited or devalued in your presence. Your strong and assured energy is a blessing, and when balanced with empathy, becomes a powerful tool for creating deep and meaningful connections. Another common aspect among chosen ones is the seriousness with which they approach life and relationships. This trait can be easily misinterpreted, causing those around you to see you as unapproachable or distant. Maintaining a serious and composed posture is a way of preserving one's integrity and focusing on what really matters. But it's important to remember that, for many people, this seriousness can create an invisible barrier that makes it difficult to get closer. People who prefer lighter, more relaxed interactions may feel uncomfortable with your intensity and seek out other company. Throughout your journey as a chosen one, you've probably heard that you're too intense or too direct. And these characteristics, although genuine and necessary for your development, can alienate those who don't understand your purpose. To you, superficial and trivial matters seem like an unnecessary distraction, a waste of time that could be used to explore higher and more meaningful issues. However, by sharing personal stories and showing genuine interest in the lives of others, you allow people to see the human side behind the seriousness. This balance between depth and accessibility creates a space where people feel understood and welcomed, without the need to pretend or disguise who they really are. This is the true power of a chosen one, to inspire trust and admiration without losing their essence. Your intense energy can also arouse insecurity in people, causing them to avoid closeness or hesitate to express their own opinions. When you enter an environment, you often notice that the people around you show signs of discomfort, such as avoiding eye contact, keeping a certain physical distance, or even appearing restless. For the chosen one, this experience is amplified because the spiritual aura they carry transmits an innate strength that, for many, is difficult to understand or absorb. This striking presence can provoke an involuntary nervousness, as if their light reveals aspects of their personality that others would prefer to keep hidden. And this is actually a reflection of your spiritual mission, to bring out what needs to be transformed, both in yourself and in others. Your presence acts as a mirror, showing what needs to be adjusted and harmonized. On the other hand, it is important to remember that this inner strength should not be used to create distance, but rather to promote closeness and understanding. When you realize that your presence causes apprehension, you can take the first step towards creating an atmosphere of trust. Starting conversations, showing interest in others, and taking part in group activities are simple but effective ways of showing that, despite your strength, you are also human and approachable. These small actions not only help to break the ice, but also reinforce your mission to be an example of light and compassion. By doing so, you not only make the environment more welcoming, but also strengthen your own mission to positively inspire the world around you. Your intensity and determination can make compliments rare, as many hesitate to give you feedback for fear of how it will be interpreted. The presence of someone like you, with such a clear purpose and strong energy, can make those around you avoid openly expressing praise or words of recognition. It's as if your presence puts people in a state of caution, and even the act of complimenting you requires emotional preparation. Many hesitate to offer words of appreciation, for fear that you might take them the wrong way, or that they might seem unnecessary, since your confident and determined attitude seems to dispense with external validation. But for the chosen ones, this lack of recognition can be disheartening, because just like any human being, you too feel the need to be valued and encouraged. However, the chosen one understands that sincere praise and humility go hand in hand. Being an example to others means being someone who recognizes and celebrates the qualities of others, rather than always expecting recognition. And by adopting this stance, you break down the resistance around you, inspiring people to be more open and comfortable in your presence. Even if the compliments and words of encouragement don't come in abundance, your humility and gratitude for others' contributions create a welcoming environment where people feel valued and safe. Remember that by taking the initiative to recognize and support the growth of others, you reinforce the divine purpose of your journey as a chosen one, showing that, despite your strong energy. You are accessible and open to sincere exchanges. Another aspect that characterizes the chosen ones is that their opinions often go unchallenged. This may seem positive at first, but it can actually be a sign that people are hesitant to express disagreement in your presence. They may fear that you will interpret any kind of disagreement as a lack of respect, or that you won't be open to hearing other ideas and suggestions. Your assured posture and the confidence with which you express your opinions can silence the voices of others, creating an atmosphere where only you seem to have the final word. This is a challenge that the chosen one needs to face, because their true spiritual leadership is manifested when they manage to inspire others to participate, to express their own ideas, and to contribute their perspectives. Showing openness and interest in other people's views, even when they differ from your own, is a way of cultivating humility and fostering an environment where everyone feels encouraged to speak up. When you are willing to listen attentively, demonstrating that you value diversity of thought and experience, people realize that you are an inclusive leader, capable of learning from others. This attitude not only strengthens the bonds of collaboration, but also broadens your own understanding, enriching your spiritual journey. Furthermore, by adopting this practice, you make it clear that being chosen is, above all, being an example of welcoming and valuing others, leading not just with words, but with concrete actions of respect and empathy. For the chosen ones, the path of leadership also brings with it the challenge of dealing with a high expectation of perfection, both for themselves and for others. This desire for excellence can make your tolerance for mistakes low, generating a sense of pressure in the environments you frequent. When you are easily frustrated by other people's mistakes, you create an atmosphere of anxiety, where people feel constantly watched and judged. This perfectionism, although it seems like a natural impulse for growth and evolution, can be exhausting and intimidating for those who don't share the same intensity. Their quest for perfection is understandable, but remembering that mistakes are part of learning is fundamental to developing patience and empathy. Instead of focusing on the mistakes themselves, try to see them as opportunities for growth, both for yourself and for others. Practicing compassion towards other people's failures helps to create a safe environment where people feel motivated to learn and improve without fear of being judged. When you choose to approach mistakes with understanding and offer constructive feedback, you demonstrate that you value effort and dedication, even when the results aren't perfect. This inspires confidence and reinforces the idea that you, as the chosen one, lead with a compassionate and welcoming heart. By developing this patience, you fulfill the role of spiritual role model, promoting a space where individual growth is valued and encouraged. Another outstanding characteristic of the chosen ones is the leadership position they naturally assume in situations where decisions need to be made. You often find yourself on the front line, guiding the steps of others, and this is proof of your ability to inspire and direct. However, continually taking on this role can create the impression that you monopolize decisions and prevent others from contributing their ideas. For the chosen ones, it is essential to recognize that true spiritual leadership is expressed by allowing everyone to participate and have a voice. The people around you want to feel included and valued. And when you make room for everyone to participate, you foster an environment of collaboration and belonging. Instead of making decisions unilaterally, actively seek out the opinions and suggestions of others, especially at crucial moments. By showing that you value the contributions of others, you not only strengthen the bonds of trust, but also enrich the decision-making process with different perspectives and ideas. This gesture of openness and humility reinforces the idea that you are a leader who inspires and welcomes, someone who sees value in each person and believes that everyone has something unique to offer. By incorporating the ideas of others, you create a space where everyone feels part of the process, fostering an environment of unity and respect. This reflects the true role of the chosen one, to be a leader who guides with wisdom, but who is also willing to listen and learn from others. If you've noticed that you're rarely invited to social events, it could be an indication that your intense energy is seen as a difficult presence to deal with in moments of relaxation. Your serious and reserved attitude can be perceived as too strong for informal occasions, leading people to hesitate to include you in their celebrations. To change this perception, show enthusiasm and sincere interest in these events. Talking about light topics, such as hobbies and personal interests, can help you show a more relaxed and approachable side. By allowing yourself to be more flexible, you help others to see beyond the seriousness and also perceive your warm, human side. This balance between intensity and lightness strengthens interpersonal bonds and allows people to feel more comfortable in your presence. As a chosen one, you understand that spiritual leadership is not just about showing strength and confidence, but also about blending these qualities with sympathy and warmth. By showing genuine interest in the personal lives of the people around you, you create a welcoming environment where everyone feels comfortable expressing their own vulnerabilities and emotions. This approach not only promotes inclusion, but also builds a solid foundation of authentic and meaningful relationships. Remember that being a chosen one involves inspiring and empowering the people around you, providing an example of humanity and genuine connection. For the chosen ones, the act of belonging and adapting to social norms can be a challenge, as you often find yourself in the minority, defending ideas and values that are not always understood or accepted. As someone who values authenticity and independence, you don't feel the need to follow standards or please in order to be accepted. This attitude can bother those who still depend on external approval to feel secure. People with low self-esteem may feel uncomfortable around you because your self-confidence reflects what they have not yet achieved internally. Your independence and ability to think for yourself are characteristics that inspire but also arouse feelings of inferiority in some. As a chosen one, you understand that you don't have to change to fit in, but you also recognize the importance of cultivating an environment of understanding and acceptance. By respecting different points of view and being willing to listen to others, you demonstrate that your value doesn't depend on others' approval, but that you also value a diversity of ideas and personalities. Your independence serves as an example, showing that true strength lies in being true to yourself and cultivating confidence in your own path. Another fundamental trait of the chosen ones is the ability to act proactively, without victimizing yourself or looking for excuses. When faced with difficulties, you see these situations as challenges to be overcome, not as a reason for regret. This resilient attitude is a mark of your spiritual strength, which motivates you to pursue your goals with determination and focus. However, this same strength can be interpreted as insensitivity by those who prefer to remain in their comfort zone. For many, your self-sufficiency and ability to face challenges in a practical and objective way can be misunderstood, because what comes naturally to you can appear to others as a lack of empathy or understanding. For the chosen ones, this journey of personal overcoming is an essential part of the mission, and by inspiring others to step out of their comfort zones, you fulfill your purpose of guiding and uplifting. Your willpower is an example of resilience, showing that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to find courage and determination. By adopting this positive attitude, you influence those around you, helping them to realize that they too have the ability to transform their lives. For the chosen ones, envy has no place, because you know that each person's value lies in their own achievements and personal journey. Your focus is on the path that God has laid out for you, and not on what others have or have achieved. When you see someone achieve a victory or conquer something you want, your first impulse is genuine joy and celebration, because you understand that someone else's success does not diminish your own opportunities. This attitude of inner contentment is a reflection of your confidence in your own purpose. In a world where competition and the desire to possess what another person has are commonplace, this attitude can surprise and even confuse some people, especially those who live trapped in the cycle of comparison and resentment. Your lack of envy reveals an emotional and spiritual maturity that few people achieve. You see the abundance of the universe and trust that there is room for everyone to prosper. This, in turn, inspires those around you to seek the same inner peace. When you compliment someone, it's with sincerity, and this authenticity strengthens your relationships, creating bonds based on mutual respect and admiration. In addition, your detachment from material conquests and social status makes your energy even higher, as you are not attached to worldly desires. For the chosen ones, true wealth lies in the peace and joy that comes from the heart. This deep understanding makes you a living example that it is possible to live with joy and fulfillment without giving in to envy or the desire to possess what belongs to others. On the other hand, this attitude of self-satisfaction and absence of envy can also intimidate those who are still at a stage where comparison and judgment take up a lot of space. For these people, it is challenging to understand someone who lives with such serenity and focus, without caring about other people's standards or expectations. Your presence, in many cases, serves as a silent reminder that true happiness does not depend on the accumulation of goods or status, but rather on a deep connection with your purpose and your essence. In this way, you become a source of inspiration and a guide, albeit a silent one, for those seeking meaning and inner peace in their own lives. In addition, for the chosen ones, patience with ignorance or lack of depth in other people can be a challenge. Your ability to understand and think critically makes you wonder how it is possible that some people remain stuck in superficial patterns of thought and behavior. You often find yourself in a situation where others' level of understanding and awareness causes you a certain discomfort, because for you, expanding knowledge and seeking wisdom is an essential practice. For this reason, people who don't share the same level of intellectual or spiritual curiosity can seem like an obstacle around you. This feeling can be a reminder that, even though you are chosen, you are in the world to help others awaken, and this requires an extra dose of patience and understanding. Understanding that each person is at a unique stage of spiritual evolution is essential to strengthening your purpose as a chosen one. Instead of rejecting those who have not yet awakened to a deeper understanding, you are called to guide them, even if silently, through your example. When dealing with those who have a limited mindset, try to observe what can be done to inspire them to explore new perspectives and expand their minds. Even if you sometimes feel impatient, remember that your mission is to light the way for those who are still in the process of self-discovery. The chosen ones also have a natural inclination to seek out new opportunities, seeing every challenge as a chance to learn and grow. For you, life is a series of experiences designed to expand your vision and enrich your wisdom. While many prefer to remain in their comfort zone, afraid to face the unknown, you see obstacles as an opportunity to hone your skills and get even closer to your purpose. This willingness to embrace the new makes you seen as dynamic and inspiring, but it can also make those who prefer stability and predictability uncomfortable. Your ability to deal with life's uncertainties without hesitation sets you apart and inspires others to be braver. However, Your ability to turn every setback into a learning experience can also make others feel pressured to follow suit, which is not always easy for everyone. Seeing you overcome challenges with such determination, some people may feel that they don't have the same inner strength to face their difficulties. This can inadvertently create a barrier between you and those who still feel fragile in the face of obstacles. But as a chosen one, your role is to show that resilience and courage are qualities that everyone can cultivate. By sharing your experiences and lessons in a humble and accessible way, you allow others to see that, although the path is challenging, it is possible for everyone who seeks to grow. As a chosen one, you also possess an extremely keen intuition, which allows you to read people with ease and quickly perceive the intentions and energies of each individual. In a few minutes of conversation, you are able to identify when someone is being dishonest, manipulative, or acting in bad faith. This ability to read people is a gift that protects you and helps you keep a safe distance from negative influences. However, this intense perception can also make people uncomfortable because they know they can't hide anything from you. Those who have something to hide feel exposed and often avoid your presence because they know you will see through their masks. This ability to see beyond appearances makes you a figure who inspires respect and even fear because others recognize that you see what is hidden. Your intuition is a blessing that guides and protects you, allowing you to choose your companies and stay away from negative energies. However, it is essential to remember that this ability also calls you to be compassionate towards those who, due to insecurity or fear, are unable to be authentic. By perceiving the essence of each person, also try to understand that not everyone is ready to reveal themselves completely. Using this ability with empathy and understanding turns your intuition into a healing tool that helps people feel safe and accepted alongside you. My friends, having a straightforward and truthful personality is something to be valued. But there are times when this characteristic can have an intense impact on people. Having a way of being sincere and transparent is a quality, but it is essential that you understand how this presence can sometimes become challenging for some around you. The key is to find a balance between sincerity and respect for the space and perceptions of others. This adjustment helps to avoid possible misunderstandings, promoting healthier interactions and more authentic relationships. And of course, this doesn't mean changing your essence or losing who you are, but rather becoming someone more aware and adaptable, able to communicate in a way that respects both your truth and the well-being of others. If you recognize these characteristics in yourself, it's a sign that your personality is really intense, capable of influencing and even intimidating those around you. And this strength is a reflection of something even greater. As someone chosen by God, your presence is marked by a spiritual authority and a profound energy that for many can be overwhelming. But with a dose of conscious attention, you can channel this strength in a way that not only inspires respect, but also builds real and meaningful bonds with the people around you. For the chosen ones, true leadership goes far beyond simply demonstrating power or assertiveness. The essence of a spiritual leader lies in the ability to be approachable, empathetic, and genuinely interested in people. By balancing these qualities, you not only improve the way you communicate, but you also become someone with whom people feel comfortable and safe. This fusion of strength and empathy is what transforms you into an authentic spiritual leader, someone whose presence is admired and esteemed in any environment. Remember that your mission is much more than shining individually. It's about reflecting God's love and compassion, building an environment around you where everyone feels recognized and inspired. This is the essence of her purpose: to spread light and uplift those around her, offering a living example of divine grace in action. Her strong personality and striking presence are not barriers, but instruments that, used wisely, become pathways to impact and transform lives. By expressing these qualities with humility and balance, you fulfill your purpose to inspire and edify. Thank you for being here, following this spiritual journey. If you felt that this message touched your heart, don't forget to like it, share your insights in the comments, and subscribe to continue receiving reflections and learnings like this one. Until our next meeting, my friends, where together we will continue to walk the path of self-knowledge and truth.